Hello, my name is Harley Richmond. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a college graduate from Sacred Heart University. I'm a Bachelor of Science in 1993. I'm also an enrolled agent with taxes for the federal government. And I'm also very interested in stand up comedy. So here's another installment of my stand up comedy. And this one is exclusively for WAPO. Here it goes. What do you call four Chinese or Asian American women sitting down at a table in a restaurant? Roommates. What things are you not supposed to say to a woman on a first date? Honey, could you lend me $20 to put gas in the tank? We're going to McDonald's. Things not to say to a marriage-minded woman. Honey, I want to my favorite I like to relax and take naps in the afternoon. We can't get married till I have a full-time job. I like to vacation North Dakota in the winter. I enjoy professional football all day long on Sunday. My favorite meal is chuck steak. And I love to go over to my mother's in the afternoon and have chicken noodle soup. What things to say to a recently divorced woman? Honey, we'll sue your husband and get all he's worth after in court for alimony. Honey, I have $1 million and a big, big estate in Las Vegas that I'd like you to go to. I want to get married to you, and I'll give you $500,000, half my million, in your savings account. Now, everything's generic today. Generic products. You have like generic toilet paper. It scratches your ass when you use it. And there's generic baked goods. Instead of Drake's or Hostess, it's Little Debbie's cupcakes. Then there's also, pineapple soda, the 3 liter variety, 88 cents, but the ShopRite brand. All generic products. I prefer the name brand products. What mistakes, what mistakes did Barack Obama make? Things that he regretted saying off the camera. Number one, that George Bush is a candy ass. He regretted saying that. He said it out of over zealousness. Number two, I want spaghetti and sauce. Look at all this sauce over here. I'm a mess. And do you realize that when Michelle Obama was doing push-ups against Ellen DeGeneres, Ellen DeGeneres did more push-ups than Michelle Obama. And Michelle Obama's supposed to be a strong woman. Uh, Now, with everything being medical care reform, when you call the doctor, if the doctor's not in that week, there's nothing in the world you could say to get that secretary to give you any information as far as appointment times or about the doctor. It's impossible to get the information when he's on vacation for the week. And we all know that it's always the women against the men. Uh, the uh, the German women, German chocolate cake for the German women. Jewish women maybe potato kugel. Irishman Irish coffee with Dunkin' Donuts. All sugary snacks. It raises the blood sugar well up. Next thing you know, you're on insulin and your finger sticks injecting blood. And it's a mess. And, it's also uh, I'm the world's worst patient anyway. Mr. Richmond, we want to take your blood and we want to take a blood test. I'm a human being. I'm a human being. Please don't take a blood test. Or, Mr. Richmond, I want to put ointment on your shoulder so your shoulder sore clears up. I'm a human being. I'm a human being. No, you can't do this to me. So, yeah, I think the best situation is to stay out of the hospital. It's an arduous task. Uh, Things that um, President Bush said that he wishes he never said. Barack Obama will never win the election. Henry Kissinger just did his job. The Italian Americans are the greatest. Irish are great too. Congress just whipply ass when it comes to the new legislation. No more taxes. Things that he may have regretted saying off the camera. What are the things that that you don't want to do on the weekend? Those drive-up windows. It says you owe $5.75, but when you look at the card, or without the card, it's $7.58. Or you call Chinese food the small. You order the small egg foo young, the small shrimp and mushrooms. But they charge you for the large. Sometimes they give you the small. What do two gay women say to each other when they're having an argument at the dinner table? I'll call one in. Uh, I just recently moved to an apartment, two-bedroom apartment, and to celebrate, I wanted to make some fresh chicken soup with chicken and vegetables. The smoke alarms go off when you first move into it. I'm lucky the fire department even allowed that chicken soup when I first moved into the apartment a couple weeks ago. What's I love when the nurses say, first of all, in these days, most people aren't making much more than they made 25 years ago as far as pay. And, mostly it's just community service now. So it's like, pay me and I'll pay you back with my services. Things that aren't, it's after tax season now, but things that aren't tax deductible, that tape you bought your grandma, the Andy Williams famous Christmas specials, that's not a tax deduction. Tax deduction, it doesn't promote business on travel and entertainment. The trip you took with your wife to Disney World, unless you're going to do business with Disney World, that's not a tax write-off either. That restaurant, the touring, the best in New Haven, $500 donation, that's not a tax write-off either, because it doesn't really promote your business of file cabinet sales. Father's Day is coming up, and things not to say to your dad on Father's Day. You're not getting older, Dad. You're getting better. Number two, I think, Dad, you could use the hair club for men. Your hair is balding. Number three, my car broke down. Could you bail me out with a new transmission? Number four, I have 40,000 dollars in student loans. I can't pay them back. Number 5, Dad, could I have the 12 pack of beer? Number 6, Dad, could you pay for a brand new car for me? Now, things not to say in an apartment when you first move in. Landlord, I only have $100 on $1,000 a month rent. Can I pay you next month when I get my check? Things not to say. Can I give you um can I do can I do work for you and work it off? The rent money, things not to say when you first move in. My Uncle Charlie needs a place to live and he has no rent to pay. Can he move in? I have an 80-pound pit bull. Can he move in? Things not to, not to say to the landlord. And of course, 4th of July is coming up, and it's our Independence Day. I'm very proud. But Henry Kissinger won the Nobel Prize for getting the United States out of Vietnam. But what if Henry Kissinger ran out of money? Wouldn't he sell out by now? Get your Viet Cong shirts right here, $8.99. Cong shirts, $8.99. And of course, we have our problems with Afghanistan. We have our problems with, I think, with a lot of here, Libya. Can't they? I think the thing is with them, if we could just bring them some free pizza like they have here in Connecticut, and some diet soft drinks, they'd settle right down with ISIS. They'd be less angry and less apt to attack. Now, we all like our loved ones, but sometimes we need to get away from it all. Could we just rent a hotel for a couple months and leave the loved ones home alone without us? And of course, we have things that you don't want to say to Congress and upset them. It's the intersession now, the summer session. Congress, Italy is broke. The Congress wouldn't like to hear that. We'd want to bail them out because there are a lot of Italian Americans living in this country. Congress, it's Vietnam acting up again. Afghanistan and North Korea. They don't want to appropriate that many funds for the war if they could possibly avoid it. And what do Chinese and Japanese people like at Thanksgiving? Pie. 3.14 slices of apple pie. Again, this is not a competition. This is merely a comedy exhibition. Please, let's have some wagering. Good night, everybody. And although we have all those wonderful situation comedies from the 60s and 70s, weren't those times great? Where, Johnny Ricardo Montalban used to say, it's more important to look good, Johnny, than to feel good. And of course, Ricardo Montalban was great with that show he did with Tattoo, the Fantasy Island. these two people are looking to enjoy themselves as a couple here on Fantasy Island. If your drugs, more power to it. Boss! Boss, what's going to happen when the cops come? Don't worry, Tento will work it out with them. And of course, wonderful I Dream of Jeannie with Larry Hagman and Major Healy, Major Nelson, and Jeannie, and they can never find Major Nelson. He's always, looking for chicks. Where is that Major Nelson? Dr. Bellows would say as he bellowed out. Nelson would say, I don't know. Probably over there on the beach trying to pick up the girls on Cocoa Beach. And of course, Hogan's Heroes. He was getting the troops that were captured in Nazi Germany out back to, their homeland, Britain, France, United States. And Hogan, do you have the 12 men? Colonel Click would ask Colonel Hogan. Well, I don't know, Colonel. I think there's 10, and maybe 2 missing. Colonel Hogan, let out the dogs. Uh-oh, here's General Bushwiker. Colonel Clink, if there aren't 12 men there, you're going to be hung at Starlight 95. 16-hour workdays, Colonel Clink. Sergeant Schultz, I know nothing. Can we bring back those days? F Troop with Corporal Agarn and Mr. Palmer, Lieutenant Colonel Palmer, where it was more important for the Thanksgiving feast than capturing those Indians. American Indians. And by the way, there is affirmative action now for American Indians. 5 points more on the post office test. Remember, this is not an exhibition. This is merely stand-up comedy. Please, let's have some more wagering. Good night, everybody. Have a pleasant Father's Day. 4th of July is coming up, and we'll be partying it up right here in New Haven, Connecticut. So long.